My name is Rafael Escalante, and today I'll be presenting to you guys on why you guys should vote against nuclear energy. And among my presentation, my main 3 points will be that that nuclear power plants they produce nuclear waste, that these specific power plants are too expensive to build, and lastly that there are chances of nuclear accidents from occurring, such as the very famous Chernobyl. And according to EIA, there are 58 nuclear power plants across 29 states here in the United States. So starting off with my first body paragraph is that nuclear energy, it doesn't only create nuclear energy, but it also creates nuclear waste. So, as stated by Green America, nuclear reactors they also create nuclear waste, and this waste could remain radioactive in the ecosystem for hundreds and even in some occasions thousands of years, which is a lot. And there are also no long-term solutions for nuclear waste storage, and they mainly just resort to building underground facilities to store the nuclear waste, for it won't be exposed to the people or environment in general. And some current problems are that these facilities are running out of space, and sometimes these companies have to resort to building some rather more expensive and at times unsafe facilities. And Green America, they are a nonprofit organization that are based here in the United States that advocate for environmental problems, which could make them fairly reliable on this issue of nuclear energy. So moving on to paragraph 2 is that nuclear power plants they are rather expensive to build. So despite many people claiming they are more efficient and cheaper to run compared to other forms of energy such as coal and gas, that is true, but they are also very expensive to create and build, which not every country has access to such resources and money and such to build such structures. And according to pyrotechnology.com, the prices for nuclear power plants, well, not nuclear power plants, but for virtual test reactors, they increased here in the United States from 3.5 billion to 6 billion, which is a lot of money, and it helps to further emphasize of how expensive such facilities could be. And as we all know, not all countries have such money that the United States has. There are many third world countries that could never build such facilities without leaving them in a more of an economic ruin than they might already be. And power technology, they are global energy. They basically show news having to do with global energy, which could make them trustworthy on this topic, which is of nuclear energy. So now moving on to my third paragraph is of this presentation is that there are chances of nuclear accidents from happening if there are ever any mistakes or malfunctions within the power plants. And my next information, I got it from conserveenergyfuture.com, and they provide some examples of nuclear accidents which have happened, such being Chernobyl, which happened in 1986, the 3 Mile Island, which happened here in the US, I believe, I could be wrong, in 1979, and lastly, Fukushima, which is a fairly recent one, which happened in 2011, if I'm not wrong. And these incidents, they did not have a high death toll, but they rather had some long-term effects on any residents or just people near such area. And they also devastated the environment in such area where such accidents occurred. And even though safety measures were taken, three of these examples, it still accidents happen, which kind of shows how inevitable these accidents could be. And these events have affected the residents of such areas for long terms, such as their health, and also have ruined the ecosystems of such areas. Such example I've heard of have been in Chernobyl of radioactive dogs and puppies, which is very tragic. And then for this source, conserveenergyfuture.com, they are a website which provides resources on clean energy sources. And this could be a rather reliable source because they provided arguments from both sides and not only one side, which could prevent any biases, as there are many biases across this world already. And in conclusion, my name is Rafael Escalante, and thank you guys for listening on my presentation on why you guys should also vote against nuclear energy. And the main points I presented in this presentation today are that nuclear power plants, they produce nuclear waste, they are expensive to build, and lastly, there are chances of nuclear incidents to happen, such as Chernobyl. And I would like to end this presentation with a question. Are we all really willing to put at stake the health and the well-being of the American people and of our ecosystem and environment just for our own greediness of wanting more power than we already have? Thank you guys for your time.